Morning again, year 4, and welcome to Maths, our first remote learning maths lesson in spring. We are going to be just focusing on a few things that we found a bit tricky in our assessments at the end of autumn over this week. And we're going to begin with a formal written method of subtraction, and that is going to be, as I share my screen here, that is going to be the column subtraction method. So I have provided a couple of examples on these slides, and then the PowerPoint presentation will be where your questions are. So to begin with, we are going to look at a question without exchanging, and then the other questions will require you to borrow, and we'll talk about that in a bit more detail. So here we have 246 take away 32. Before we start anything, how many different ways can you say take away or subtract? Pause the video, see if you can write as many as you can down. Okay, hopefully you've managed to get quite a few written down. One key word that we're really going to focus on again today, and I've mentioned this before, is difference. So for this question, we're going to find the difference between 32 and 246. And this is how we're going to lay it out. We're not going to do our pictorial representations. We're going to just use a formal written method. So I've got 3 10s and 2 1s. So my 3 has to go in my 10s column and my 2 has to go in my 1s column. So we start from the right. So 6 take away 2 is 4. 4 10s minus 3 10s is 1 10. And then we're left with our 200s. And if we want to, we can put a placeholder in to make that a bit easier for us. 2 takeaways 0, is 2. So 246 minus 32 is 214. So the difference between those two numbers is 214. Moving on then, this one is going to require a little bit of exchanging. Before we do anything, can you figure out where we're going to need to borrow from? Okay, hopefully you've seen that I've got 5 1s here, but I need to subtract 9 1s. I can only take 5 away, so I'm going to need to get that additional 4 from somewhere. Think about what we're going to need to do now. Hopefully you're starting to think now that we're going to borrow from our neighbour. So we're going to knock next door, whoever your next door neighbour is, Bob or Dave or whoever we use for our example normally. And we are going to change one of those 10s for 10 1s. So instead of 4 10s, I now have 3 10s. And instead of 5 1s, I now have 15 1s. And now it should help me complete my question. So 15 1s take away 9 1s is 6 1s. My 3 10s, not 4 10s, because I've changed that. My 3 10s take away 2 10s is 1 10. And 300s subtract 100 is 200. So 349 take away 129 is 216. Okay, let me just move my picture over here. Let's try and apply that to a word problem now. The question says, the original price of this car is £8,999. And the sale currently has £1,100 off, so I've highlighted those important numbers there. So what is the sale price of the car? Let's take that information, original price, 8,999, take away my sale offer, 1,110. Let's lay that out in our column subtraction. And we work from the right-hand side, so 9 take away 0 is 9. Try and say this with me as we develop through the video. 9 take away 0 is 9. 9 take away 1 is 8. And 8 take away 1 is 7. So what you're going to be doing is, I'm going to stop sharing that screen and then change over to our PowerPoint. You can write down your date and LI. So the 6th of the 1st, 2021 now. So we've got our VI to use column subtraction. And here is your first set of questions. They do get progressively harder. You don't need to exchange to begin with, but you will need to exchange at least once as you go on. So pause this slide now. Try your best to answer the questions. Go back to the examples if you need to. Don't forget your carrying and your exchanging. Really think about what that means when you just cross off a number. What does that actually mean? Okay, your answers are coming up now. Okay, so your answers are on there. Again, pause this screen so that you can self-assess. Any that you didn't get right, maybe try and put them again into that method and see if you can get the right answer this time. And now if you want to challenge yourselves a bit further, we have 2 word problems and then a challenge X. I know lots of you will really challenge yourselves. So the first one, the picture shows the masses of 8 kittens, as pictured here. What is the difference in mass? Think about what that means. The difference in mass between the heaviest kitten and the lightest kitten. Your second question, how much more do the boots cost than the trainers? Think about what the question is asking you there. What calculation are you going to need to do? We've got the cost of the boots and the cost of the trainers. Think about the calculation. Think about the method that we've been focusing on today. And then finally, the challenge X is a multi-step word problem. You may have to also include a little bit of addition in there before you use your column subtraction. So pause that now, and your answers are about to come up on the next screen to finish off our maths lesson for today. So question 1, your answer was 155. The mass of the heaviest kitten was 410 grams, and the mass of the lightest kitten was 255 grams. So if we put that on our column subtraction, we should get 155 grams. The cost of the boots were £45.50 and the cost of the trainers were £34.99. So the calculation we should have done is there, but in our column subtraction, and we should have got actually £10, 51p and 155 grams, because we often joke about it could be anything if we forgot to put a unit in. It could be 155 elephants or 10.51 chickens, who knows, unless we make that clear. And challenge X is multi-step, so we had to add 4,289 and 355 and then subtract that total from his target of 6,000 points. So he had 1,356 points. Any questions, or if there's something you really struggled with or you still don't understand, please email in and I will do my best to re-explain a few things. If not, well done. Look forward to tomorrow's maths lesson and goodbye.